Hello and welcome to episode 35 of the GuildMag podcast. That was the creepiest smile you've done yet.
I told you I was going to give you a serial killer smile.
Oh god. Yeah, episode 35. This week we are talking all about raids since they came out this week. Joining me, as always, we've got Sandra and Aaron. And Aaron's having an issue with his webcam.
My video feed decided to throw itself underneath the wheels of a bus, so here we are.
We're going to visit little Sarah.
Yeah, that's the thing.
It seems we're all having issues today. So I'm unusually dark because my lights decided to kill itself, so I've got glow sticks instead.
Yay.
To light the way. So this week, what?
I don't know that they're achieving much.
No, it's like I'd have to like hold it like up here or something.
You need like a load of them.
I've got like 3, but I don't want to break them all. But I might get a few more out. Yeah, so this week we're talking about raiding. Well, one of us is going to be talking about raiding, and the other two are going to attempt to follow along as best they can.
Attempt.
We're noobs.
Don't criticize us.
But before all that, as always, we're going to do the news. And we should have like a little theme tune for this, like BBC News does every week. Do like the headlines.
Yeah. Okay.
In the gem store this week, we have the new plasma weapons.
Oh, what happened? Did we lose Rowan?
Oh my goodness, Rowan is quiet.
This is hilarious. Okay, guys. So while Rowan's feed decides to come back, I'll let you know that in the gem store we've got the plasma weapons, which are actually kind of cool. They look like lightsabers to me.
Here's the deal. There's like a couple of these weapons that are cool, right? The shield's pretty sweet, and the longbow is pretty sweet. That being said, the rest of them are trash.
Well, I don't know that I'd call them trash.
They're pretty awful.
I like the sword because it really does look like a lightsaber.
Oh, but it has like a training little nub on the end.
I know, you told me that.
It's like your lightsaber has training wheels.
I know. But it is very lightsaber-esque.
I think if you're gonna do a lightsaber, the super adventure weapons are better.
Yeah, those are kind of cool.
Yeah. That's the way to go.
But they're like hella expensive on the trading post now, aren't they?
Yeah, they're like 800 gold or something stupid like that. I mean, the plasma stuff is still like 100. I really want to get the bow, but it's like I don't want to dish out that kind of money, and I don't want to throw money at Black Lion chests because those never go well for me.
Yeah.
Except that one time.
Except that one time when what did you get out of it?
I got a celestial die out of one once.
Right on. Okay.
Just the once.
Just the once.
I sold it like scum.
I remember that.
Yeah, it's absolute scum.
That's all right. Okay. Don't oppress the weapons, says Fishkin in chat. Every weapon has a right to exist. Yeah, that's true.
I wouldn't say I was being statist. I didn't talk about their stats at all. I was just being discriminatory towards ugly garbage.
Not Rowan. Aaron is a curmudgeon.
I wield weapons with awful stats. Don't even get me started on my builds. I won't be raiding anytime soon. I'm the least statist person in the game.
Oh my gosh. Okay. So the plasma weapons. Go check them out if you're interested. They cost 1 ticket currently.
The shield's super cool.
The shield is cool. And others are cool too. Don't listen to Aaron. There's also a Raiders supply package for all you Raiders out there. It's got a utility primer, the other one, the metabolic booster that makes your food and your consumables last longer. Go for
like 1 billion years, yeah.
Yeah, those are handy. I was using those out in the Heart of Thorns maps as well. But so go check that out. And then there is also a mini angry chest available for about 700 gems in the trading post or the gem store. And do you remember the book? Was it the Book of Monsters on the Harry Potter series?
Yes.
Okay, so that's what that chest reminded me of because it looks really angry.
It reminds me of a mimic from D&D.
Okay.
It's like it masquerades as a chest and you open it and it's a monster. But
Yeah.
quick side note, you can't see this on the Twitch because it's cropped, but you have a Mickey Mouse doll on the couch behind you, and it is just staring at me.
I know. Isn't it creepy?
It is. It is. It is eating away at my inner consciousness.
It's my niece's. It's my niece's. What's creepiest is that it doesn't have clothes. So
terrifying.
I try to get it out, but apparently
utterly terrifying.
Anyway. But the cool thing with that angry chest is it's got a little bit of a mini scavenger hunt built into it, so that you can convert the angry chest into a mini red spark.
Is it like a collection?
I'm not sure if it's a collection.
Or is it just stuff you find and put in the chest?
You basically have to go talk to people.
Okay, I don't buy stuff on the gem store very much, so anything that happens on the gem store, I'm like, what? I don't know.
Yeah, Dolphy's got a guide up for it, and it's basically you go talk to NPCs and then go stand in the lava at Mount Maelstrom, and then it becomes a mini red spark.
Oh, okay, there
you go. Yeah,
that's gameplay.
Yeah. I don't know. Hey, it's a new thing. Mm-hmm. So if you haven't seen the gallery, get over to Delphi and you can go see the gallery, or go in game.
Delphi's easier though.
Yeah, true.
Let's be honest.
In other news, I think that's all for the Gemstore news. Community news. Raids are out, and one of the big stories this week was that DNT guild was removed from raid testing. Mm-hmm. If you didn't know, DNT and Attuned Guild got invited about a month ago to beta test the raids with or for GuildMag, ArenaNet. Mm-hmm. And they were removed for, I guess, unsportsmanlike conduct.
From what I'm aware, one of the dudes from DNT was blabbing about the raid testing before, and that was NDA'd info, and that's why they got removed, because someone was talking NDA'd stuff before they were supposed to.
Yeah, I saw a big kerfuffle because they tweeted about having world first killed. And
yeah, there's a 4,000 page forum thread or something.
So it's sadness. So anyways, they were removed, and the community was pretty, I think, supportive of ArenaNet's decision. So
I thought it was funny because apparently the guy who blabbed was talking crap to some other guy about how much farther they'd gotten, and it's like, well, of course you did. You were in the testing.
Yeah. Well,
that's what I heard. I didn't follow it too close.
I know. I kind of tuned in a day after it all happened because I was working. So, and then in game news, data mining happened from the patch. There's some new features coming in. I'll copy this over into chat. Hang on a second, people.
I haven't seen the data mining for this week yet.
Yeah, I guess there are some new hairstyles coming in to the game.
Ooh, I love hairstyles.
I know. I'm excited about those because I've got all of these hairstyle kits that are just sitting in my bank, and the complete total makeover kit.
I'm not gonna lie, I've used most of my total makeover kits because I had a bunch stocked up, and then I did a bunch of character makeovers, and I have one left. So maybe I'll do something with the new ones that come in.
Yeah.
Yeah, hairstyles are my Jimmy Jam.
It's all about the fashion and GuildMag.
It is. The fashion is real in this game, guys.
Yep. So what's our story with our fearless leader here? Let's see if I can get a update.
He just left.
He's usually back pretty quick, but
yeah,
he's offline completely, right?
Yeah, he is. It's not happening.
Let me try something while I'm trying to multitask way too much, people.
Here's the deal. Chat's telling me that hairstyles aren't going to make my Asura look better. I think she looks just dandy.
I do like that hairstyle.
Yeah, I mean, I have two Asura. I think they're both female. I think they both look fantibbity-too-tastic. And don't hate. Don't hate on my Asura hairstyles, okay? That is a total makeover hairstyle, too, the one you see on video right now.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
It is. Well, I just... I'm trying to see if we can get an update on Rowan's internet status. It may have died completely, in which case we may have to, improvise here for a second.
Yeah, it's true.
So what have you been doing in-game this week? Since neither of us have raided because...
We haven't... Listen, guys, we haven't raided at all.
I know.
Because it's just not really up our alley. It's up Rowan... Rowan's the raider. He's the hardcore, give me the hard stuff. I'm... listen, I've just been trying to go at Heart of Thorns map completion, and it's a little annoying. I'm not going to lie.
Is it a pain?
Well, there's some stuff that's like, I understand that things should be gated behind masteries or there'd be no point in masteries. And it's like, for the game as a whole, that's fine. It doesn't stop it from being annoying when you're like, I need 2 POIs left for this map, and I can't get either of them because I need to be able to get into New Hawk Wallows. So I need to level that up, and I need to level up Exalted Mastery.
Hello?
Hello.
There's Rowan.
Hi.
There he is.
Do we have your feed? No, we have no camera from you.
Oh,
Dude, we just waffled for like 15 minutes.
Yeah, it's alright. We're good at this. Hi.
Hi. I might be back.
Alright. God, that was hilarious.
Yeah, basically, Auric Basin is frustrating me so far. So that's the thing.
Okay. Yeah, I've been... What have I been doing in game this week? I was actually trying to get my Sylvari... the Sylvari character that I had closest to Heart of Thorns story to finish Season 2 so that I could take him through the Heart of Thorns story because I want to experience it from a Sylvari perspective. But it's... What can I say? I'm really rusty at playing engineer and my engineering skills are not very good anymore.
that pun was real.
So much sadness. Yeah. So we went through Gemstore news and all of that good stuff. So do you have anything to comment on any of the Gemstore skins?
No, I was saying that the plasma weapons are quite cool.
Yeah. I like them. I think they remind me of lightsabers, but Aaron's not that keen on them.
A couple of them are right. Otherwise,
I thought they were cool, but I didn't particularly want any of them. It's one of those ones that
I want the bow. Listen, guys, the bowstrings twang. Like they have a legit twang animation on them. It's so cool. I want one.
But do they have a sound effect?
I don't know. I don't play Guild Wars with my sound on super high.
Okay.
But the twanging animation is real, guys. You got to go check that out. I think Dolphy has a video.
Cool.
In fact, I know Dolphy has a video. I was there. Experienced it.
I just want the sword because I want the lightsaber. And that's it.
Terrible lightsaber. It's got training wheels.
Shush.
Can't stab anyone.
It's okay. I'll make an Asura and he'll be walking around with a lightsaber and I'll call him Yoda or something ish. Anyways.
I don't think you can make a green skinned Asura. You can get a Hylic potion. I think they have a green one.
I don't know. I'll do something. I'll get creative.
Yeah, you figure it out.
Yeah, I'll take care of it.
So,
yes.
Should we talk about what we're here to talk about then? And hopefully I don't disappear while we're doing it.
Yes, please.
So, as we all know, the first Raid Wing came out on Tuesday, Spirit Vale, and there are 3 bosses inside it. And we've already had 5 guilds, I think, complete the entire Raid Wing.
Oh.
So that's it's kind of good and it's kind of bad at the same time, which I'll guess I can talk about in a little bit. But first, so I'm the only one that... Have you guys entered the raid at all yet? Or have you just not gone anywhere near it?
I have not wanted to attempt pugging it because 1, pug, and 2, raid. So, yeah. I didn't want to go in there and try to learn mechanics with people who may or may not know what they're doing, and yeah.
Here's the deal with me and raiding. I'm not the type of guy that wants to go in at the very beginning when it first comes out and bang my head against the wall on mechanics that nobody understands yet. I'm probably going to wait a few months until people have this thing down pat, and then do it as many times as I need to get whatever's required for the legendary armor, and then probably never go back to it again. Because raiding just isn't my cup of tea content-wise. It's too narrow, it's too specific, and it's too repetitive, and it's not... It doesn't strike me as fun, personally.
So since you mentioned narrow and specific and repetitive, Rowan, how did you feel about the raid? What you've done of it so far?
Yeah, so to give a bit of context, GuildMag's Group 1 killed the Veil Guardian on Friday, which is the first boss of the Raid Wing. Took us about 4 hours-ish, I think maybe 4.5, something like that, from start to finish. And overall, I mean, it's a raid, so I enjoyed it. I quite like the challenge of learning mechanics and kind of seeing you progress over time. I mean, usually for a boss, it'll take you longer than 4 hours. It normally take a couple of separate raid sessions to get used to it. But I really enjoyed it. I think so. Everything I thought about the Veil Guardian came true. I think the mechanics are really simple, easy to learn, and I actually don't think, at least for the first boss, it's inaccessible to most players. I think actually a majority of the community will be able to kill the Veil Guardian relatively easily, putting a couple of hours of effort into it.
I've heard it's a relatively easy boss.
Yeah, and like looking at the kill videos for Gorseval, which is the second boss, like even he seems pretty easy as well. Like mechanically, it's not a difficult fight. It's just once again learning things and like investing a bit of time into executing things properly. So I don't, for this first Raid Wing at least, I don't think it's as top tier content as ArenaNet were claiming it to be. I think actually a majority of the player base will be able to do it.
Well,
but
I mean, I've heard the second boss is incredibly tough, though.
Well, so I've heard that, but I've looked at all the kill videos of it, and I've looked at all the mechanics of it, and what you actually have to do isn't that complicated. It's if you've got a coordinated group of people who you can actively progress with and work on it bit by bit, it's not beyond the grasp of the majority of players, I don't think.
And I think this is leading into one of my biggest problems with raids, and this is just a personal problem. A lot of people don't take issue with this, is that it seems to still just be a DPS race. Like, the bosses are super sponge, and they have really tight timers, and you just need to find that DPS sweet spot for your group, and then it's kind of just bang, bang, bang through the raid.
Yeah, that is one of the issues with, well, it depends on what perspective you're looking at it. If you are raiding, you
need your support and you need your tank.
If you're not following meta builds, you're putting yourself at a severe disadvantage.
Yeah, and from what I've heard, basically what people are doing is they're running either 8 or 9 Zerkers with a support and a tank, or a support/tank character. And I don't know, that's such an imbalanced party spread. It's just doesn't sound fun to me at all.
So the typical party for the Veil Guardian is 5 Zerkers, 1 tank, 1 healer, and 3 Condi DPS. Some people have tried it with 1 tank/healer and then like 6 Zerkers and 3 Condi. But yeah, it's raiding. So at the end of the day, there's going to be a set requirement of people. You have to bring a set party composition. It's not like other content in the game where you can just bring whatever and clear it. It's kind of a different way of playing, and it's a different mindset, and it's harking back to a more traditional way of playing MMOs. And I think that's fine, because I think it's then catering to people who like both kinds of content. Because if you prefer Guild Wars 2's typical combat of just bring whatever you want and be able to clear it. I mean, you remember the original dungeon videos where they brought 5 thieves to clear like Ascalon Catacombs Explorable, and it was a struggle back then, but people still did it. When no one really knew what they were doing. And if you like that kind of thing, then there's plenty of it in game already. And for people who don't, or who maybe do but can get sick of it, I know I can get sick of not having a defined role in a party, then raiding gives you that opportunity, I think.
I remember when I think it was before they started announcing the elite specializations, that I know one of our writers started writing about how they needed to bring back some kind of traditionally defined roles. And once the elite specialization started being announced, it seemed like, oh, here we go. Here's some more defined roles that seem like they're trying to kind of bring back that traditional MMO kind of Trinity idea. And a lot of people at first were like, no, that'll never happen in Guild Wars 2. You don't know what you're talking about. And yet, here we are. So what specializations have you seen that have been working well in... Go ahead.
Okay, so I think the issue I have is for the healer role in raids, it's basically an unspoken rule that it has to be a druid. I mean, you can try and claim all you want that other healing professions are viable, but realistically, druid is the most viable out of things like, elementalist, guardian with a staff. It's
revenant.
You want a druid, basically. Yeah. As much as I can see why it's bad to try and enforce a kind of meta, like absolute meta for raiding, for a healer you want a druid.
It's absolute meta is absolutely going to happen. It's pretty much unavoidable. So
well, I like to think so. Apart from that, though, actually, everything else in the raid is relatively flexible. So you do need a tank, but our Group 1 tank is an Ellie, right? So you can also have traditional tanks like a warrior or a guardian. There is a necro tank you can reaper tank you can bring, which is quite good. You can have the Eternal Guardians had a Condi engineer tank. So it's relatively flexible, and it's not like in those roles you have to have a defined profession. So it's good in that sense, and I've forgotten the point I'm trying to make, and I was trying to bring it round to that point, and I've completely forgotten it.
It's all right. Because I remember when we first started talking about Druid, you talked about how it would be more of a hybrid build rather than a straight healer. And it seems like people are playing it as a straight healer.
Yeah, having been in the raid now, that's completely flipped on its head. So, and to bring up this point and combine it with Kamaitos, I'm so sorry, in Twitch chat.
I was thinking Kamato.
Yeah, like a tomato.
Oh, well, there we go then.
There we go.
It depends how much healing you want. If healing is really needed, then yes, Druid. If healing is important but not as much, then no, you don't need a Druid. So Veil Guardian, first of all, the boss itself just deals periodic damage to everyone within 1500 range of it. Second of all, there's mechanics. There's one mechanic where if you don't do it in time, it deals 90% of your max health raid-wide to everyone. If you do deal with it, 4 people will take around 3000 damage. And there's just generally you need a lot of healing. Well, not a lot, but a good amount of healing for Veil Guardian. And the Druid actually spends most of their time healing rather than DPSing. And it's actually, if you take a look at the numbers, the Druid, one of the Druid traits, I can't remember what it is, but basically boosts overall party DPS. Can't remember off the top of my head because I don't play Druid. But that brings more DPS overall than if the Druid was to spend like half their time doing damage themselves rather than healing. So yeah, in terms of actual stats, Zealots is still decent on Druid. I see a lot of people also going for Clerics for more healing-oriented stuff. And I think, especially with a pug that's learning, I think Clerics actually might be the way to go. Once you've got a static group that knows what they're doing, then Zealots might be better, and you can try and get some personal DPS out as well. But at that point, in all honesty, DPS probably wouldn't even be an issue, because in Rage Timer it isn't as strict as I thought it would be. So most people shouldn't have... If you follow a relatively meta build, you shouldn't have a problem with meeting the DPS check if you've got your mechanics down and you can do your DPS rotations properly for your whatever you're playing. And it's a case of even if you do hit the enrage timer at 8 minutes, there's still a period of what's called soft enrage, so it's not an instant wipe at 8 minutes. There is still a bit of leeway for you to be able to continue damaging the boss until it ramps up and until it just reaches a point where you won't survive anymore. So yeah, once again, I've forgotten the point I was trying to make because I've made so many different ones.
Yeah.
I think it was that healing is pretty necessary in the
Yeah,
raid.
so for the Veil Guardian, at least, healing is pretty necessary.
It's from what I've seen of the second boss, it's very necessary in that
As
one
well,
too. 'Cause
yeah.
you kind of just have to party-wide soak damage in order to get your DPS out.
Yeah, and for that, at the moment, it's Group 1 employs the mantra of Druid or nothing for the healer slot.
Right.
So we've kind of fallen back to that old looking for Druid to be able to go kind of thing.
Yeah.
Which is a shame. I would like to see more elite specs in the future be able to kind of compete with Druid for healing, to try and offer some diversity there. But overall, I've enjoyed raiding so far. I've not had an issue with the meta that's forming around doing the raid because that was always going to happen.
Right.
And yeah, I'm looking forward to being able to kill Gorsable.
Yeah. I keep seeing, in terms of gear, I think we haven't talked about that yet. And I've seen this on Reddit as well. That people are just saying it doesn't really matter what your armor is. If you're in exotics or versus ascended, it really matters the weapons and the trinkets.
Yeah,
what really
so
matter.
Weapons and trinkets ascended are almost just a straight out requirement for you to be able to hit the DPS check on it. Armor just does not matter at all. Realistically, it's 2% ish stat increase versus for a full exotic set versus full ascended, and it's. I mean, a lot of people in Group 1 were in exotics or weren't full ascended. You know, kind of half and half. So yeah, ascended weapons definitely bring them. If you don't have ascended weapons and you do want to raid, you know, give it a go in exotics, but with a goal of trying to work towards an ascended whilst you're also learning the fight. The biggest thing is getting the mechanics down and then worrying about your DPS, because it doesn't matter how good your DPS is if you're wiping to the same mechanic over and over again. You know. So
basically, you need to bang your head against the wall for a while.
It's not even that. It's. I mean, I know you see it that way, but I see it as overcoming a challenge.
Right.
I mean, the thing about raids in all MMOs is they're not actually difficult. If you think about other actual difficult games, I can't think of one off the top of my head, but ones that require genuine skill to do. Raiding in MMOs is not about your own personal skill. It's about whether or not you can learn a set of mechanics and just deal with it.
It's about banging your head against the wall.
It's not. It's about investing time. Everything about an MMO is about investing time into something, whether it's doing a legendary, doing ascended armor, or learning how to clear it, kill a boss in the Spirit Vale.
Yeah.
Which is completely different from dungeons because you can just walk in there and off you go, stack in a corner and kill everything.
The question I was going to ask, I mean, this is the first wing that they've released, and it seems like, well, from what they've said, they're going to try to escalate the challenge each time. So, yeah, where do we think that the next wing is going to go? I mean, if Veil Guardian is pretty easy, and Gorsafal is a little bit harder, and Sabitha as well, whatever.
Yeah.
What's going to happen in the next?
So
what do you expect?
I maintain the idea that a good raid overall takes longer than a week to be able to clear. Like 5 guilds now have cleared the entire first wing, and it's taken them about a week to do it.
Yeah.
If they can do that for the second raid wing, I'd start to be a bit worried, because that's the point of where it's meant to start ramping up to this ultimate endgame content that we've been hearing so much about. I'd like it's healthy when you see things not being cleared within a week, basically, when it's actually difficult and people are taking their time to be able to clear it. 2, 3, 4 weeks is a good time for the top tier guilds to clear the second raid wing, I think. that's what I'd like to see. In terms of actual the boss and mechanics, I would like to see things be a bit more complicated. I mean, as of right now, there's only sort of a handful of mechanics you have to deal with, and they kind of just mix them up between the phases and what happens, and they kind of make them a bit more difficult as you go along. I'd like to see them introduce completely new mechanics at later phases that kind of throw you off your game for a while. So it's like you've learnt the fight and then there's a whole new fight to learn kind of thing, which is what a lot of... I know Final Fantasy XIV does that quite a lot with their raids. So, yeah, that's kind of what I'd like to see. But I'm happy so far. I might not be happy in a week when I'm still stuck on Gorseval, but we'll see.
Okay, one of the things, too, that I'm wondering about is I keep seeing calls for Reaper, Tempest, Dragon Hunter, what else? Druid, obviously. But what happened to the poor Daredevil? Who's supposed to be this new way for the Thief to play?
Yeah, so Thieves have kind of taken a bit of a nosedive for raiding.
It's kind of sad.
So so our Joe, one of our writers, who's the raid leader for Group 1, was a Thief, and he switched to Revenant. Because Thieves are just they don't provide anything in the raid. They don't have the top damage anymore. Right. They don't really have CC or any kind of utility to provide that's useful to kill the boss. So, and Daredevil is the highest DPS for a Thief if you have that elite spec. But even then, it's just not quite enough, and there's no reason. The big thing about forming a raid composition is you ask for every position, why have we got this person playing that character? And there's no reason, nobody's come up with a good reason for a Thief yet, which is kind of a shame. And it kind of comes back to this whole enforcing a meta for the raid, which is understandable why it happens, but it would be nice to see, in an ideal world, everyone on a level playing field when it comes to what you could bring for the physical DPS role. So yeah, I know Revenants at the moment are probably one of the highest Zerka DPS and just OP.
What weapon sets are people using for that?
For Revenant?
Yeah.
Shiro and swords.
So weapons you want sword, axe, and then your second weapon set depends. You can either go like sword, axe, and sword, shield, because the shield's actually quite good. For keeping yourself alive, or you could switch it out to maybe hammer if you ever need to go range, but realistically you shouldn't for the Veil Guardian. At least if you're melee, you just stay melee for the whole fight.
Do you think so what I'm seeing here is a lot of your strategies are basically for the Veil Guardian, for the Veil Guardian, for the Veil Guardian. Do you think people will be switching builds and gear sets from boss to boss?
Yeah, so Gorseval doesn't have a condition damage check, so there's no reason to bring condition damage over Zerka. So in that instance, you could happily run 9 Zerka, 1 tank healer.
So it's very likely that the most optimal meta will be to have multiple gear sets with you going into the raid.
To
change on the fly.
And it's likely that most people would end up playing more than one profession character for a raid wing as a whole.
Can you do what you can do with dungeons, where you can log out and bring another character and get back into the raid?
That's no problem. And so your progress is the progress, the person who enters the raid is the progress that it's saved for, and it's usually, I think it's the commander who enters the raid. We were trying to figure this out on Friday, if other people can enter the raid, if it's only the commander. And then whatever boss you've killed up to, that your path will be clear to there, so you can go back in anytime, just explore and deal with stuff, and there's like collectibles to get along the way. It's nice, actually. It's a nice little zone.
Way,
it's not like just go from boss to boss, kill stuff, don't get any time to explore or collect things. There's a lot of, after the Veil Guardian, and there's some trash mobs before Gorseval, and there's like a little It's like a little encounter on itself, actually. So you have to first of all kill. Do I want to spoil it? I don't know if I don't know if it's a spoiler telling you the types of enemies or not.
I think there are enough videos out already, so.
Yeah, so if you don't want to hear the kind of enemies that are past the Veil Guardian, then let me, I guess, come back in like a minute or so.
Yeah.
So after the Veil Guardian, you actually get into it. There's all these kind of there's these human spirits that you encounter, kind of a bit like the Ascalon ghosts, but not like them, because this is the whole area where the Bloodstone stuff was happening in Guild Wars 1. The actual Veil Guardian arena is the original where the Bloodstone seal thingy was in Guild Wars 1. That's what it's designed to be. And then as you go further in, it becomes much more ghostly and ethereal and like spirits and stuff. And then you see Gorseval, which is, if you watch the actual raid trailer, he kind of descends from like this spirit realm onto the platform. And so there's one part of the next encounter you have to go through where you're on this narrow corridor and you have to escape this like mist of ghosts that are chasing after you, and there's like barriers in each way. You have to like kill a barrier quickly before the mist catches up to you. And right before that, there's a little chest you have to grab. Well, you don't have to grab it. You can grab it for a chance at ectoplasm something that I can't remember what it's called. It's basically all used for legendary armor. And throughout this area before Gorseval, there's things like little journal entries. You can there's a little cemetery where you can read all the tombstones, like in Shaymore.
Yes.
I think.
Yes.
There's a bunch of different cemeteries in the game.
So it's not just like you're going from boss to boss and there's no story or anything around it. There's a lot for lore people to explore. Once you've kind of cleared it and you get some time to breathe.
Yeah.
So, and we come back to the issue that we were talking about last week then, of the whole story mode, and will people get to experience this who don't rate? And honestly, I don't think it's inaccessible to people. I think it's honestly just about investing time into actually learning it, and if you want to explore what's there that badly or get the legendary armor that badly, it's just something you're going to have to suck up, learn, and get on with. It's just a different kind of grind, I guess. Yeah. That requires more effort on your part. But yeah, I don't think the first wing, at least, is for like the top 1% of players away, like they were claiming.
Right. Yeah, I wonder if they'll get to that point with the later raid wings.
Yeah, I'd like to see the later raid wings become progressively harder until it is at a point where maybe most people won't be able to complete it. But then we get into the issue of, do you then have a separate story mode to dumb it down and for people to be able to get rewards and stuff? I like to think that they're thinking about that for later raid wings, but we'll have to wait and see. I guess.
Yeah. I'm trying to think what we had next.
So I guess the question is, what do you have plans to go into the raid anytime soon, or is there anything that's particularly making you think, oh god, I don't want to go in there because I don't really know what I'm doing, or I don't want to hold back the party, that kind of thing? Because the thing about raids is one person makes a mistake and it can lead to a wipe. Right. Depending on the kind of the situation. Yeah. So
I think for me, that's probably one of the things. Just because I usually tend to run different content with my friends. So if they're not interested in pursuing a content that I'm interested in, I'm like, well, okay, so do I pug with strangers? And as weird as it sounds to be playing in an MMO, I actually don't like to pug.
No, I don't blame you, honestly.
It can be... I mean, I have. It's not like I haven't. I have. I've gone in with you a couple of times. But the experience is... It can be really volatile. And I'm the type of player that I don't want to be the one holding people back if I don't learn something as quickly as it's perceived that I should be learning something. I'd rather take my time, get to know it the way it works for me, and then go. But so that's one thing. And two, I just haven't had the time. This week I've been really busy.
Yeah.
And I don't really see that changing anytime soon, so I'll wait for GuildMag Group 2 to go in and start learning, and we'll see where it goes. See if it holds me. See if it's something that holds my attention, my interest.
For me, as someone who in Guild Wars 1 was super heavily involved in high-level raid culture with Underworld and Domain of Anguish, I'm just not in that mindset anymore. Like, I've been through that part of my gaming life, and it's behind me now, and I don't feel the need anymore. And so I just know that it won't be that fun for me. So I'm not in any hurry to get it done. I'll get it done eventually. I'll get into it and do it a few times, and maybe occasionally, but I don't feel the bug to do it. Yeah. Because I've been there and I've done that and I'm over it.
Yeah, and that's that phrase, I guess, have the right mindset. I keep seeing a lot, and it's what do you feel is the right mindset to be a raider, or how does a raider I don't know how does a raider differ from another player? Is it that they're just interested or more willing to just wipe and just keep going and wipe and just keep going, or just kind of tenacious? I don't know if that's the right word, but
I think that is the right word. I think the thing that would set a raider apart from just, I don't want to say anyone else, is that the right word?
Other players.
For other players, I mean, even this might be kind of an insult to other players who aren't raiders, but it's the thing that we look for Group 1 for raiders is the ability to kind of bounce back from your mistakes and learn mechanics and things relatively quickly, and not just think, oh, that happened, oh, let's keep going kind of thing. It's kind of you have to step back, analyze why it happened, and think about how you fix it. It's much more analytical rather than just Leroy Jenkins in there and see what happens each time.
Right. Yeah.
Which is what you can pretty much do throughout the rest of the game. If something happens, you go down or whatever, you don't particularly have to think about why did that happen, how can I fix it next time. You just go back in, charge in, and typically 9 times out of 10 you'll kill it, whatever you're doing. So I think that's what sets most raiders apart from, I mean, there's kind of a split between raiders who will just pug things and people who are in actual guilds and static groups who look for progressing as quickly as they can, kind of thing. So yeah, I think it is getting into a new mindset if you've never raided before, and like Aaron said, he's not really in his game. Yeah, he's not there anymore. Yeah. It's much more. It's a lot of effort, just mentally having to go through things, learn things. It's almost like preparing for an exam. When you have to revise everything and remember everything. It's kind of a bit like that. So,
which is kind of nice. Go ahead,
Aaron. Someone?
I said fun.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I was going to say that it's kind of good to see them trying to bring in a different kind of player, or even players that are existing already in the community who have wanted that, just to kind of, I don't know if appeal or kind of pander is not the right word, but just basically bring content that will help keep them in the content engaged.
Raid content is good for Guild Wars 2. I'm not saying they shouldn't put it in the game. They should absolutely put it in the game and keep expanding it, because it's bringing in a different type of player and it's expanding the player base and ultimately growing the game. So I don't have a problem with it. It's just not my cup of tea.
Yeah, and that's the thing. It's another one of those things that isn't for everyone. Just like PvP World v World. I mean, I don't do really either of them, because I'm mostly a PvE person. But it's nice to see when they're expanding it and players are coming in because of that. And I guess I'd say to people who never raided before, who are kind of anxious to raid in Guild Wars 2, just give it a go. I mean, what's the worst that could happen, right?
You die. It's a pretend world.
realistically,
Yeah.
you'll probably get a really crappy pug who won't get very far. But if you want to get started, it's just the best way to just go in and give it a go and see what happens.
Yeah.
And yeah,
Yeah.
that's
raids.
that's raiding. I mean,
Yeah.
is there anything else we can say about raids? I feel like we've covered most things.
Well, what is GuildMag doing for raids?
Oh yeah, that's a good point. So hopefully later on today, now that Group 1 has killed the Veil Guardian, or tomorrow, depending on if I want to sleep or not later,
Yeah.
we will be putting out our own guide to be able to kill the Veil Guardian. It'll be a bit different to what's been released so far, because I think Dolphy's done one. I think someone else has done one as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we'll be doing our own that's got some different strategies that haven't been covered before, and just much more in depth. And then the video to go alongside it will be kind of a 5-minute TLDR video for people to watch over when they need a refresher. So check out the GuildMag website later. Well, I guess if you're watching the recorded version of this right now, because it'll be out.
Yeah.
But for everyone,
Keep an eye on our social media.
Yeah, keep an eye out for it and check it out and let me know what you think. Because it's the first guide I've ever really made to anything, and I wasn't particularly comfortable recording and being the person doing all the voiceover for all the guides. But let me know what you think.
Yeah, I mean, having read it, I think it's in a pretty solid place. So I know that I learned from it.
Well, that's
which is bonus.
That's useful.
Yes.
So that's raids. Shall we move on then? I'm guessing you guys haven't talked about the next point, or did you while I was gone?
No.
All right. So tomorrow, as Aaron reminded me, it's been 1 month since Heart of Thorns launched, and we thought it'd be nice to kind of take a look back at last month, look at where we are now, and I guess kind of look at what we'll be doing for the next month or so and into 2016. So who'd like to start? What have you done over the last month?
Over the last month, I finished the story.
Well.
I unlocked Reaper, and expecting to that, I've been playing a bit with that. Not too much, because I switched over to a Sylvari character to see if I can get them through the Heart of Thorns story. And I still want to get my Chronomancer kitted out. So yeah, there's things to keep me engaged for a while. I'll start raiding. But yeah, so I don't know. I think what I feel good about is that there's stuff to do again that isn't the same what's already existing in game. I'll hope to get some kind of map completion going in Verdant Brink. Keep leveling up those masteries. Oh god.
What mastery level are you on?
I think I just hit 17 last night.
Oh god, you're catching up. Well, you have caught up to me right now. That's embarrassing.
Guys, listen, I'm mastery level 9.
Oh, you're just a little bit lighter.
Don't even front. I don't have any Court Area masteries leveled at all, though.
I have a couple. I've got the Pact Commander through, I think, level 2 or 3, and does
that one go super fast?
It did the first
tier. If you farm COF, it does.
Yeah.
And
I'm really I unlocked level 1 of the legendary crafting one because I want to start working on Nevermore. And yeah, so I got things to do.
I've got so much stuff to do and just no time to do them at the moment. I'm waiting for the Christmas break from uni where I can just spend all my time in Heart of Thorns and grind everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I've done the story. I'm only on mastery level 17 still. I'm nearly at 21, but not quite.
Okay.
And yeah, my time between now and for the next foreseeable future is raiding, I guess, and just preparing for that because I've got to lead group 2, I've got to do group 1, I've got to just, I guess, keep grinding up my masteries. I mean, I really wish I had time to. My Revenant's still sitting at like level 60 something.
Oh, right, because you were actually leveling it and trying it out.
Yeah, so anyone who watched the podcast before, I made claims several times that Revenant would become my new main
It
as soon
hasn't
as
yet.
Heart of Thorns came out, and a month later, it still hasn't. I'm still rocking the Guardian.
Mhm.
Dude, mine's level 80. Come at me, bro.
Oh, God.
It took like 5 minutes.
Yeah, what did you do? Tomes of Knowledge.
It actually takes a long time to level up for those because you have a prompt you have to press every tome, and then you have to go through 80 levels worth of accepting level rewards that are all trash.
Right.
It's not a fun experience.
Well,
No.
you know, it's a lot of clicking.
Yeah.
I chose to. So for my Revenant, I chose for the second time ever that I played Guild Wars 2 to do the personal story from start to finish.
Because you did a
Um,
Sylvari, aren't you doing a Sylvari?
Yeah, doing
That
Sylvari.
does that still give a good amount of experience towards masteries?
Well, it
Well,
won't give you.
no, because
well,
you're getting level experience.
Yeah,
I mean, but if you did it at level 80, that would be a good chunk of mastery XP, wouldn't it? I might need to get on that.
I don't know if it'd be better than farming COF all day.
True.
But
Yeah, but I didn't. Yeah, but I'm not going to do that because I'm not a, you know, I'm not a heartless, soulless sack of
Says the
flesh.
person who did Silver Wastes for like a year.
I know!
Silver Waste is fun, dude. Farming a mob in COF, a single mob.
What's the difference between
What's the
farming
difference?
mobs and Silver Wastes?
I know!
Between farming
Silver
and
Waste,
mobs.
you're farming a meta event chain. There's actual progression there.
Better rewards out of the
There's
polls.
mechanics.
Oh, there are not mechanics in Silver Wastes. Don't even go there.
Dodge
There
the
absolutely-
terraglyphs.
Yeah, there's mechanics.
Yeah.
COF is literally just killing enemies for XP. It's terrible. Don't do that, guys.
Do it.
Dude,
I'm so.
If you
I'm,
guys-
you know what?
What?
Speaking of like doing things quickly, I'm so sad that they patched the Molten Boss fractal where you can't skip it anymore. I'm so sad that they patched that out. It means
Was
people
that
have
you
to-
that was going on about that to me last week?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I would give people some great
When
advice.
did they patch it this week? Did
They patched it Tuesday when the raid came out.
So
yeah.
what did they do? They
Yeah.
watched the podcast and like, oh, we're
Yeah.
gonna get Rowan now.
Clearly. Clearly, that's what they have.
Thanks, ArenaNet. Yeah. I don't know. I'm happy that we've got stuff to play. That's
Yeah, I'm
it.
really happy. I'm still annoyed about the precursor crafting for the current Quarteria legendaries.
Yeah.
Because I still need to do that at some point.
I feel like the Quarteria masteries level up a lot slower. And I've been using boosters. Now it
They
could be-
definitely start baseline at a higher XP cap. Like the first tier of legendary crafting has like a 1.5 mil XP. You need to fill, whereas most of the
1.265 or something like
yeah
that. I kept looking
1.2
at it last night.
and most of the Maguma ones start at like 500,000.
Yeah, okay,
Yeah.
well that might be why. I
Yeah,
was like, okay, when am I going to be done here?
yeah.
Yeah.
And I think they
That's-
knew that Quarteria ones would be easier for people to gain XP for, since there's already well-known ways to gather XP in Quarteria.
Yeah.
So they had to kind of beef them up to make up for that. And then COF happened, so nothing matters. Which they still haven't fixed.
No, I kind of wonder if they will, because
If they don't fix it, then masteries are meaningless in their game. So there's that. So maybe they should fix it.
Well, I mean, only the Quarteria ones.
Yeah.
It is kind of
They're not exactly the most impactful anyway.
right now. Yeah.
Most impactful. That was great. 10 out of 10. Would pun again.
You're a little salty, I think, because you're at level 9. Let's just-
Listen,
I-
let's
guys.
be. I think that's what the real issue is. Here.
I have lean techniques, okay? Come at me.
I don't even have that yet.
I don't have it either.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I put
Yeah,
it on
I've got-
lean techniques and sacrificed everything else.
So what have you been doing since I don't think you've shared with us? What have you been
Yeah,
doing? What's your plan for the next?
So I beat the story, and
Right.
we've heard about that.
Yes.
And then I started doing Heart of Thorns map completion because I want to finish that before. Well, I tome leveled my Revenant to 80, and I did city
Jesus.
map completion for all the cities on my Revenant,
Mm-hmm.
and I like kitted out my Revenant and all that jolly good stuff.
Did you get the Miss Ward armor?
No, I haven't bothered with that yet. She's wearing like other stuff, but
Crap gear. Ugly looking stuff.
no, she looks fantastic. Nobody thinks so. I'm the only one that thinks so, but I think she looks fantastic.
Okay.
And yeah, that's more or less what I've done with my Revenant. I'm kind of saving to play her
Mhm.
because I'm getting a new computer soon, and I might be able to start streaming, and I'd like to stream all my map completion with her. So that's a thing that might happen. But as far as right now, I'm just trying to get map completion on my Guardian for Heart of Thorns, and that's not fun because it's hard to get places in Heart of Thorns. Spoiler alert. And yeah,
just in case you didn't know. Yeah.
Yeah, it's really frustrating when you're like, I need 2 POIs and a Vista to finish this map, and I can't get to them because the New Hawk people don't like me enough. So
I mean, I don't even know where half the POIs and vistas are that are on the map. I'm like, how the hell do I get there?
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly.
I've got Verdant Brink done, and basically the hardest part for me on Verdant Brink was there's a hero point challenge on the top of this jumping puzzle, and you have
Don't
to fight
say jumping puzzle.
Yeah, exactly. I know, right? It's a hero point challenge on top of a jumping puzzle with a champion that it's a champion vampire bat, and it has this absurd heal on it, and it's the worst, guys. It's the worst hero point in the game. Raiding can take a backseat to this fucking thing. It's amazing.
This is your personal raid? Is that what you're trying to say?
It's so awful. And so that took me like days to finish that. And now I'm like 95% done with Auric Basin, and the last like 3 things I need I can't do because of masteries. So that's what I've done with the past month. So I'm happy.
Okay.
Yay. So I guess what you
Was that a
guys looking
sarcastic
forward
comment?
to for the next month and into 2016?
I want to actually explore a bit with fractals a bit more. Although I'm a little ulterior motive is that I need to get the bloodstone dust out of my bank because I need to finish Mondri. So that's why I need to get into fractals again. But I do want to see if I can get into fractals a bit more, just generally, because I think they're kind of fun.
Here's the thing, though. Like, I know there's some people that are super into fractals, and they're like, yeah, fractals, that's all I do. I do level 50s all the time. I don't know how these people do it, because I don't even have the 500 fractal achievement, and I am freaking sick of the current fractals. I'm so tired.
You played them for a while, too.
Yeah, I only have like 100 and some odd fractals under my belt, though, on the achievement tracking, and I'm just sick of the current fractals. They're so boring. And to get me back into fractals, they need to add new ones, or else I'm not going back.
Yeah,
because the fractal weapon skins are ugly, and they're even uglier when they're gold.
I like some of the gold ones.
They look so awful.
They're shinier.
They look so terrible.
Anything shiny is just better.
Well, you know,
No.
you're becoming a script for real.
I mean, look at the like the Vision of the Mist's purple greatsword thing. The actual base thing is some crappy little wooden sword that's just got like a mesmery pink stuff around it. Like if that wasn't there,
right,
it'd be the most ugly thing ever. But
to be fair, I do have Visions of the Mist on my Asura Mesmer. So
well, there you go.
But no, the only thing.
Stuff.
The only thing that would get me going on fractals would be if I wanted the legendary back piece, which currently I don't. So, meh.
I really want that back piece because it like moves with you. Like all the little things like will contract and then come out again, like as you move and stuff.
Yeah.
It looks really really cool. But I don't have the time or the energy to even start thinking about going for that yet. Because I've got so much to do. And not enough time to do it. I'm going to be here for like a year, just do it. By the time the next expansion comes out, I won't have finished half the stuff I wanted to do for this one.
When do you think that'll actually happen, then?
I don't know. I mean...
Do you think we're going to have to wait another 3 years?
I hope not. I don't think I'd be here in 3 years if another expansion hadn't come out yet. How old will I be then? 24? No. I don't know. So...
Personal
I like to
information on the podcast, ladies and gentlemen.
I mean, I'd like to think they'll be relatively regular, once a year, once every 18 months, maybe, something like that. I'd set off even like once every 2 years, I guess. But I hope that now that they've worked out how to do an expansion and they've got like masteries and all the systems in place, that they can kind of pump another one out relatively easily.
Yeah.
Just kind of crap it out. Ugh.
Yeah, well, hopefully putting some thought into it, but yeah, I mean, I'm looking forward to season 3, and it's really weird, like, because I finished, like, by now, if this was like before the expansion and the story was over, you know, season 2, there was nothing to do in game.
Right.
And it feels really weird to like not be logging in just to do the story, to actually be doing other stuff. So I really hope that, you know, 6 months down the line, when season 3's over and there's a break again or whatever, that I'm still logging in as much as I am now to do stuff.
Yeah. Great Nightly in chat asks, have you done Dragon Stand yet?
I have. I've done it a couple of times.
I've explored around the map, but I have not and I've done parts of the meta event, but I haven't completed the meta event.
Yeah.
It's a decent meta. Well, it gets boring after. I imagine after like your 10th attempt, it gets quite boring. I've done it 4 or 5 times. Are there any adventures I don't think there are any adventures in Dragonstone map. I think it's just the meta.
Just the meta. It's interesting.
I think so. Well, it makes sense because the map has a specific time after which it closes and kicks everyone out.
I haven't played in that map at all. All I've done is the story, so I haven't actually.
You should do it.
Yeah, I need to.
It's decent for XP grinding with events. I'm not still sure if that diminishing returns on events thing is going on or not. That we talked about last week.
I saw people talking about it in map chat. Happening in like even Corteria maps. So,
diminishing returns for XP?
Yeah.
In events. You were here last week when we talked about it.
Yeah, he was here.
Was I?
Yes.
Yeah.
Wow, I don't remember that at all. That's terrible.
Go tune into our YouTube channel and watch our last episode, Aaron.
I mean, why would
you have diminishing returns when you're trying to level up your masteries?
Like if they want people to play content and play it regularly to level stuff up, don't make it harder to do that. That's stupid. I'm sorry, that's dumb.
No,
and then have a completely broken farm in COF that you do nothing about.
Well, I mean, that's the thing, is that is this a bug or is this intended? I hope it's a bug.
If it's intended, they're nerfing where nerfs don't need to be applied.
Yeah.
And they're ignoring where nerfs do need to be applied. And if it's a bug, then fix it.
Please, hurry up.
Yeah. So yeah, I think what was I going to say? I've completely forgotten.
What else? What
are we talking about? We're talking about Dragonstone.
Yes.
And I think do we have anything else to say about Dragonstone? I can't remember the question. I'm losing it tonight. I spent the last 48 hours just doing this damn guide for the Male Guardian. That's all I can think about right now.
I've basically been in Auric Basin wanting to tear my hair out all week. That's been my week in Guild Wars 2.
Is that because of the meta? People not knowing it yet?
No, it's because of the map completion.
Oh, that's right. I forgot.
You know, something I did want to bring up actually is I've noticed things like Auric Basin and Verdant Brink. I don't know if it's just me and my time zone, but this past week I've really been struggling to find people to do the events and the meta in there. Like normally I didn't have an issue, especially with the mega server, but this week it's been dead in Verdant Brink and Auric Basin.
So is that people not returning, or just the mega server bug back?
Well, I think most people are in Dragonstand. Because when I go there, it's always packed.
I think a lot of people are in Tangled Depths too, because people just need that meta because it's impossible to do.
Yeah.
I just can't stand Tangled Depths.
That map is so...
It's just it's overwhelming. I haven't been there since I did the meta once, and I was like...
Did you find the underground water system in the bottommost layer? That's pretty cool.
It's all really cool. It's just so big. Like I would happily have had a map like half that size, like split it into 2 maps and have 2 like little smaller ones. It's just so big, and as Todd says, most maps are dead unless you get a taxi into a zone. Well, that's the thing. Like there were no taxis going like at all when I was looking, apart from Dragonstone. So if you're on NA, make sure you're playing at EU time so I can get taxis to places.
Either that, or you're gonna have to become like Taz and start living on NA time.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. So, you've got this point here. This is a completely shifting subject, but you've got a point here about the official monster scale guide.
Yes, this is something I thought was quite cool. We could bring up now we're reaching the end. So today, that shaman posted his. So this week there was like a discussion about relative sizes of monsters and things compared to each other in game. And then today that shaman posted a big, it can go up to 4K image of basically a big sized chart comparing loads of things in the game. So you've got things like Zaitan, Mordramoth, Twisted Marionette, loads of things. I just thought it was quite interesting to bring up and take a look at. And the
Is
thing
the ice guy there the Claw of GuildMag?
Yes.
Or is that actual GuildMag?
No, that's
Probably
the
a
Claw
Claw.
of GuildMag.
Okay.
Well, because we haven't actually seen actual GuildMag in game.
Yeah.
So, I mean, the thing that depressed me most of all was seeing Mordramoth at letter H there, like just kind of in the middle of the pack for the story mode Mordramoth thing.
The big bloated thing that we didn't appreciate.
Yeah, I mean, number two, the mouth of Mordramoth, the big thing you face in Dragon Stand, I suppose, is
the thing about Mordramoth, like quote unquote Mordramoth that you see in the final instance, though, is that's just a kind of a mental representation.
Right.
Which they totally screwed up on, though. It looks so unintimidating. But yeah, that's definitely, I think the mouth of Mordramoth is supposed to be Mordramoth's physically imposing entity.
Yeah, no, I agree. I just thought it was quite a nice little interesting infographic to share.
I definitely think it's interesting how large the Twisted Marionette ended up being in comparison to Claw of GuildMag.
She's pretty huge.
I don't think any of us had thought about her as one of the biggest bosses in the game, but when you
No, I never had
totally
until I saw this. It was like,
I'd like to see that fight back.
Yeah, I think most people would. Yeah. Maybe one day.
Maybe that'll be a new guild mission or something.
That'd be awesome.
That could be cool.
Yeah.
And so I guess that's basically it for this show, unless anyone has anything else they'd like to bring up.
I think we're good. Feels like a good closing point.
All right then. So next week, I've got no idea what we're going to talk about.
Something. We'll come up with something.
We'll find something to talk about, I'm sure. So a big thank you to everyone who's joined us for this episode. Remember, we are live every Sunday at 8 p.m. GMT / 12 p.m. Pacific time. I got it right.
You did.
I think. Oh my god.
Well done.
Yes. On twitch.tv / GuildMag. So come and join us and share your opinions.
Yes.
And feel free to share your comments on YouTube or the GuildMag website as well. We do read them, even if we don't always reply, because we sometimes forget quite a lot.
Or are busy.
Yeah. But yeah, I guess we'll see you guys next week. Yes. So thanks for joining us, everybody.
We're going to do a post-show.
We are.
Just asking.
Someone in chat asked, so I'm glad you brought it up.
Yeah.
There we are. So for those of you not joining us for the live post show, we will see you in a week's time. So bye everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
And that's that.